Move inside. I'll stand here until you look pained, and when I see a pained expression on your faces, we'll move in. I was reflecting. In the first instance, let me just say, love to all of you from Scott McKay. I spoke to him a few hours ago. The man is not well. Very sad that he can't be here. I don't know what happened to us 8-9 days ago, whenever it was, but it wasn't fun. That much I can tell you. I'm thrilled to be here today, and I'm saddened at the same time. This is the end of the road. It's been an interesting 3 months. It's been a fascinating 3 months for me. I came here to listen, to lean in, and to learn. And I did listen, and I leant in, and I've learned. And I'll tell you what I have learned in the course of 12 weeks. I've learned that humanity definitely wins. There's no question about that.
Yes.
The pulse is alive. The patient is not dead. That's the good news. And I genuinely didn't know if that was the truth when I started. I came not knowing the truth of that. I grew up in a war in sub-Saharan Africa. I'm used to some of the more insidious kind of vibes that we've been feeling in the last year, 12, 18 months, this kind of weird twilight zone when reason closes down, starts closing down, just like lights closing down in a corridor. And we've all seen it. And then the weird, creepy edicts coming out of the mainstream media and academia as well, and then we start to realize that it's definitely them versus us. Mm-hmm. There is a conspiracy. It is a grotesque conspiracy, and it's the status quo versus living men and women of the living soil. That's you and me. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And we're aware of that. We can smell that. We're alert enough to know that and to feel that, to sense that in our blood when there is an existential threat moving against us. And there is an existential threat moving against us, and it's been moving against us for thousands of years, actually. Any of you who know my work know I speak about a 2,000-year history from the Caesars of Rome, which led us through the weaponization of Christianity, the dereliction of that great faith. The same thing with Islam, the same thing with all of the monotheistic religions. They were all co-opted by what I would loosely call the Vatican complex.
Hang out for a little while, get to know each other, kick some ass, and then go back to not liking each other again. You agree? Right? So it's cool. And I want to just address, because one of the things that as I've traveled around the world doing the work that we do, speaking on business, doing the rescues that we've done, working in domestic violence, feeding people around the world, one of the things that I get asked the most is, what can I do? Right? What can I do? That's the only reason I'm here, is to say that you can do something. Right? When we think about what's going on out there with these kids, 10 million children that are being trafficked around the world, it's disgusting. But I didn't know about it. I watched a movie one day, and I saw and I heard the story. And I left there, and I wrote a check, and I couldn't go home because I have 3 daughters of my own. And I couldn't go home. So I drove to the park, and I sat in the park, and I cried. I'm not a big crier, but when I do, it's ugly. And I was hitting the steering wheel, and I was thinking to myself, God, how can you let this happen? And at a moment, much like Pastor Rudy, who I run with, he's I have to say this correctly for the Marines in the room. He is it former? Former Marine? I don't know. He gets mad at me every time I try to say it. Oh, once a Marine, always a Marine. See, there's some Marines in the room. So, but he said, he had a similar experience, and he said God responded to him by saying, why aren't you doing something about it? Right? And I had that moment. I went Facebook Live for the first time in my entire life, and I just said, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I got to do something about this. And I got a phone call, and they said, hey, Jason, you have some unique background. Maybe you can come out and help us. And I did. We went on a mission. And I've been doing that ever since, all around the world. And the last 3 years, unfortunately, have been focused here in the United States. Why? Defund the police. I'll just give you one example. 65 trafficking officers in LA County, one of the top 3 at all times trafficking hubs in the world. And they had 65 trafficking officers. Guess how much they have right now? None, not one. So this is, when we're sitting around alone, when we're, isolating ourselves from everybody because we want to live our damn life and not step on anybody else's toes, but damn straight don't step on mine. When we sit there and we watch that television, we go, that's not right. That's what we collectively say. That's not right. And then nothing happens because we go back to our life. And then we see something else happen. And we say, that's not right. And then we hear stories about how communism is supposedly taking hold in America. And we have Cuba. We have one of the gentlemen that runs on our rescue team goes and sneaks into Cuba on the Christian ministry. And he comes back and tells me the most amazing stories. Like if you have a chicken, I heard him running around here. If you have a chicken in Cuba, guess what? You get arrested. Why? Just think about this just for a second before I move on. Why would you get arrested for having a chicken? Because you're self-sustaining and you don't have to depend on the government for absolutely everything. And I hear these stories, and now there's this Arise Freedom Tour from these amazing people, Scott and Sacha and Leigh, and people coming together. And so what do? Is that sound, right? What do we do? And it's whatever you damn well can. Wherever you sit. I had no plans of doing this kind of thing. None whatsoever. Had another life planned. But my 3 daughters and my 2 sons and my grandbabies, I'll die before they say, Dad went down without a fight. So what can you do? How many business owners do we have in the room? How many business owners? Whoa, yes, okay. They're coming for you. Independent access to capital. Independent access to capital is a major cornerstone of freedom. They're looking to take that away. Right? Make more money. Band together. Stop buying from damn Amazon.
Yeah.
Buy local.
Yeah.
Support the people around you. That's something that you can do today. Put some of that convenience aside. And you see it happening all over the place. I don't want to go on too long tonight. But when she was standing next to me, she's wearing that hat that says "We the People." And it got me to thinking about something. We the people. We the people has been abdicated by our generation to someone else will handle the shit.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm going to say that again. We the people has been abdicated by our generation to someone else will handle these problems. We turn off the TV, I sure hope somebody does something about that.
Mm-hmm.
We get up the next morning, I sure hope somebody does something about that. We the people translate into I am the person. Whatever it is, if we band together, they have no hope of standing up against us. But we got to get our shit together. We got to stop fighting amongst each other and fighting amongst the patriots. Like, if you're a patriot out there, even if you're doing the worst job that you could possibly do, and you see some people making money, some people doing it for free, don't judge people in the patriot movement. Support their asses.
Amen.
Yeah.
This has to come together. Oh, do you? Okay.
Everybody say hi.
Say hi to Scott. Hi to Kay. Come on, give a big round of applause. That's right. Florida knows how to party, Scott. Florida